Hello, everybody. It's the old bear from the old bear's den of Bigfoot, and we're back for the fifth and final part of this series of 5 family members seeing different Bigfoot in a 2-mile area near Golly Bridge, West by God, Virginia. And of course, I have my better half with me.
Hi, everyone.
She never talks loud. Never. Even when she's mad, she still talks in a whisper.
He doesn't want to hear me yell.
No. I know I'm in hot water then. Anyway, this is part 5, and this is the daughter, teenage daughter. She's 14, and it's May of this year. So it's been a year since Dad first saw his. Now, Mom and Dad forbade their kids of going up there, especially after the older son, saw one. Anyway, daughter met this boy, and daughter met the son of a local officer of the law. And this boy never gets in trouble. And I really don't have much to say about him except that he just does things his own way and it gets by with it. Anyway, this boy meets this girl at school. And school's almost out because it's the first part of May and of this year, 2023. And he talks her into going riding with him. Well, Mom and Dad said that's fine, but you're not to go in that area, and you know where I'm talking about. Well, where does this boy take this girl? She's pretty. A year younger than he is, 2 years younger than he is, and talks her into going on a ride in that area on his brand new 4-wheeler. Some kids are just suckers for punishment. Well, they go riding. She has to lie to her parents where they're going. And when she gets cell service, she's supposed to call Mom and Dad and let them know she's all right and everything's okay. Anyway, evidently this boy had ulterior motives for taking this girl on a ride. There were supposed to be 2 or 3 other people going with them on 4-wheelers, and nobody's there whenever they get where they say they were going. I kind of think the boy may have figured it out that way. That's just the dad. So, they go for a ride. It's 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. They go riding. They ride around for a little while, and he acts like the 4-wheeler quits. Brand new 4-wheeler, and it quits on him. I think he shut the gas off. That's just me. And he kisses the girl, and he starts, teenage boys got hands that just don't know when to stop. And shortly thereafter, him kissing her, she ends up smacking him and getting off the 4-wheeler and starts walking out. Now, she's been up there before with her parents long before, and she knew the way out, and she knew that there were things in the woods that she didn't want to run into. But this boy takes off in the opposite direction. He goes up through there and he rides around for a few minutes and says, well, I need to go back and get her and take her out of here. She doesn't want to play. That's the only thing I can think of to say in that instance. And he's coming back down the road, and she's walking down the middle of this road, and she's looking left and right, left and right, left and right. She ain't paying a whole lot of attention to what's in the middle of the road in front of her. And she walks up within about 30 to 40 feet of this thing and finally sees this creature standing there in the middle of the road, looking at her, kind of leaning one side and then leans to the other and then leans back, trying to figure out what in the heck is a girl doing up here in the middle of nowhere. But this is a male. And well, this boy comes flying down through there, and he slams on the brakes because the girl's standing in the middle of the road, and he sees the creature about the same time he saw the girl, and he's freaking out. And the girl is like, oh my God, Mom and Dad were right. Them things are up here. I need to get out of here. Get me out of here. She's screaming at this guy, jumps on the back of the four-wheeler, and is facing away from the front of the four-wheeler. She doesn't want to see this thing. And the guy's like, how are we going to get around it? And he gets the bright notion, well, if I go towards it, it'll move. Well, it worked. The Bigfoot turned and ran off the road. And they went past where the Bigfoot jumped into the woods. And when they went past, the girl saw it standing there, and it was standing there looking at her. And it stuck its arm up, like saying, how? You've all seen westerns where they see the Indians stick their hand up and go, howl. That's... Anyway, it's just something the Bigfoot did. And the boy rides the four-wheeler all the way back down to his house. And now, mind you, this boy lives in a town that's connected to these roads and to this area. And he rides to his house, runs in and tells his dad. And the dad comes out and takes the daughter back to the house and tells the parents that, you know, you shouldn't talk about this stuff and you shouldn't be telling anybody about these things. Now, here's the part that gets a little bit, how would you say it, honey? A little bit unusual.
Sure.
Now, mind you, this whole family has seen these creatures, including this boy from the local police or county sheriffs or whatever his daddy is. And this officer comes up there and tells them, the dad of the boy, don't talk about this. You'll probably be getting a visit in a few days. Well, a few days goes by and he was right. They got a visit from someone wearing casual dress clothes. And the guy comes to the door, and the mom answers the door, and she says, no, you might want to talk to my husband. Well, Dad comes to the door, and when Dad came to the door, Dad looked at him and said, don't know what you're talking about, go away, don't want to talk to you, and slams the door in their face. Guy knocks on the door again. He said, sir, don't be talking about these creatures, because if you do, then we may have to intercede and find a way to keep you quiet about this. And the guy and the gentleman, the dad, looks at him and goes, no matter what you think you can do, it won't help you none. I'll talk about him if I want, and if y'all don't like it, too bad. It needs to be put out there if these things are real. So he slams the door for the second time and walks away from the front door. These people leave, and I got a phone call about the situation that was going on from the dad, and told me all the encounters that they had had in the last year. Now, they have not, and I repeat, have not been back into that area since then. There have been other reports from that area, and they're local people, and they don't talk about it to anyone most of the time. But if you're from here and you know of these creatures, they tend to tell you a lot of other things about these creatures, about their encounters. And I hope you enjoyed this video. There wasn't any trouble in any of them except for a growl and some people being scared and having adverse reactions emotionally and mentally to these creatures. So I hope y'all enjoy this series, and we got a couple more that are a little bit more scary coming up, and I hope you enjoy those too. So this is the Old Bear and Mrs. Old Bear signing off, and we will see you on the next one. We hope you enjoy it. Give us a thumbs up, and if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And Mrs. Old Bear, you have anything?
Have a blessed day. We love you bunches.
Bye-bye, y'all. We out.